We know what it's like, attending every class, putting in hours with practice problems, and overstressing about tests just to see B's and C's follow all your hard work. Meanwhile, the genius that hardly tries is getting A's on every test. How is he doing it? Was he born smarter? Or does he use secret strategies that save time and ace tests? Let's get right into it. I'm Engineer Joe. Welcome to Engineering Insiders. Newsflash, those who set the curve for every test weren't just born smarter or work harder than you. Of course, dedicated work and natural intelligence help, but the name of the game here is efficiency and productivity, not natural disposition and brute force. Today, you'll walk away with simple actions that harness the revitalizing power of these two simple words, making you happier, healthier, with more free time and better grades, just like the top 1% of students. Now let's take a look at these strategies, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you learn anything in the video, as it really helps us out in this dog-eat-dog algorithm. Okay, so the first secret here involves a candle, a book of matches, and a box of thumbtacks. But it also comes with a question. How could you stick the candle to a corkboard on the wall so that when it's lit, the candle wax doesn't drip onto the table below? The scenario is frequently given in interviews to test your innovation. Can you think of a solution? Most people tend to mull over the candle, matches, and thumbtacks, but the more creative thinkers among us turn their focus to the thumbtack box. This box not only holsters thumbtacks, but also can catch any drip coming from the candle so it doesn't hit the table. An interesting solution, but what does this have to do with studying? Well, this is known as the candle problem and was used in an experiment to study how mood affects people's creativity. The test presented this problem to two randomized groups of people with a simple twist. One group was given a small gift, a bag of candy, before facing the problem, and the other was given nothing. The results remarkably show that those whose moods were subtly improved by the small gift of candy were significantly more successful in solving the candle problem. Amazing! But what does this mean for you? Are you supposed to eat candy every time you study? Well, no, that would be bad on a few fronts. For you, this means that feeling good doesn't just end with feeling good. It actually changes your patterns of thoughts and behaviors for the better. The top 1% of students don't cram in a single high-stress study session hours before the test. They make studying as fun as possible. So, put on some music, ask classmates and friends to study with you, bring some of your favorite snacks, whatever it is that makes the experience better for you. You'll be more creative, solve problems better and faster, and simply be happier. But imagine you try this strategy out and still don't get the grades you've been striving for. What do? Now don't worry, the second secret is the perfect one to lean on. And it is maybe the most important strategy of the top 1% of students. Reflect and adapt. Why? Well, each topic, professor, and semester combination can be very different from the last, so how do you know which methods will be the most productive? Reflecting and adapting. Let's say you missed a ton of points after spending most of your time reading the textbook instead of working through programming labs. Of course, your heart is in the right place, but your time spent wasn't. Let's say you have a good study schedule, but end up on your phone for most of each session. Adapt by leaving it off in the drawer away from your room. For me, the moment of enlightenment came when I started working with classmates. I used to torture myself through gruesome, frustration-riddled nights in my electrical engineering degree. Once I started opening up and collaborating, all of a sudden I had an outlet for the frustration, and the comrades in arms meant we had a whole team of brains on each problem. Right away, we saw quicker success, deeper understandings for everyone, and to my surprise, more enjoyment while studying. So if you want to enter that top 1% of students, then you need to reflect on your study systems and adapt the worst methods for better. And remember, there is no shame in failing. After all, Steve Jobs was the one that was ousted from Apple, his own company, but used the setback as an opportunity to reflect and learn what he was doing wrong, only to come back and mastermind one of the most successful companies of all time. Okay, great. Now, no matter where you're at, you now have methods to right the ship when it's going off course and to maximize results when doing so. But school, especially engineering degrees, can get overwhelming very quickly. Students skip lectures to finish assignments, work from dawn to dusk, and sometimes even end up sleeping in the lab overnight. But don't worry, the 1% have a strategy for that too. Let's figure out your strategy for time management and efficiency. We've all been there before, mentally juggling lecture times, homework dates, friends and family, gym time, and more. Inevitably, things just slip through the cracks. So, let's clean up shop. The first step to ensuring you use your time efficiently is to outline what you want to do in the first place. For that, there's something called the Wheel of Life, and it's a great place to define success for yourself. This wheel signifies all the major areas in your life and how fulfilling they are to you. So draw or annotate this chart and rate each slice from 1 to 10 on how important it is for you moving forward, maybe for the next month. Of course, one student will be different from the next, and you could even add a few sections of your own. Once completed, you'll have successfully outlined your priorities and can move on to planning. Now, we're not not saying you have to plan out the entire year, but try starting small and just do the next month or even the next week. Enter in your blocks for lectures, labs, study time, and some number of hours to focus on health and other outlined priorities. But where are you writing this down? Well, I've tried a number of planners, some pricey, some small, and found my perfect Goldilocks planner to be the Clever Fox Weekly Planner. It's got enough space for a busy day, work and personal sections, reflection prompts, and many more productivity tools. And just so you know, this isn't a paid ad, I just love the product, but there is a link in the description if you're interested. Now, if you're not the physical planner type, then there are a ton of planning tools and apps out there. Personally, I use Notion, an all-in-one organizer, planner, and really extension of the brain, so that I can do everything from yearly planning to weekly tasks to spur-of-the-moment grocery lists. Again, not a paid ad, but a link is in the description if you want to try it. So now that you've got your tasks down, we have the absolute most important part. You've outlined your priorities, sorted them into your planner, and now it's time to execute. One of the great ways to accomplish this is the Pomodoro technique, in which you study for around 25 minutes and break for around 5 until you've completed this cycle about 4 times. Then you take a bit of a longer break, 15 to 30 minutes, and rinse and repeat. The times vary person to person, but I've found success working for around 45 minutes to an hour, then breaking for about 10 to 20 minutes to walk around, grab a snack, knock out some dishes, or play with my cats. Now, although this does work, I actually find the most important thing for efficient execution to be minimizing distractions. I'm talking about text popping up mid-workflow, checking social media just for a minute, all of a sudden finding interest in that toy on your desk again, and so on. To remedy this, I put on noise-canceling headphones with focus music, close all communication apps on my desktop, leave my phone far away from me, and get to work. Putting myself in these successful environments has turned what I used to accomplish in a day into what I can accomplish in a few hours. But be careful. When this extra time pops up, make sure you're following your wheel of life. You don't want to get into the vicious cycle of freeing up time by working efficiently to working more and more until your head bursts. There is more to life than just working, folks. By the way, I would love to hear your execution and productivity methods as well. Please leave them in the comments below so others can learn from you too. But getting back to it, do you know what comes after this execution? You guessed it, reflect and adapt. After your planned week or month, look at your life wheel and execution tasks and change the worst for better. Switch up the ratings on the life wheel, plan more or less time for different activities, and continue on planning the next month. Now, are you maximizing your hiring potential, engineer or not? Check out this video to make sure you're doing everything you can to land your dream career. Thanks for watching and happy engineering, everybody.